اللهم صل على الحبيب محمد يا رب صل عليه وسلم.
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Praise be to Allah and His choicest peace and blessings upon our Master Muhammad. Every human being has the emotional need to be appreciated and to be valued. And we seek that in our lives, and we seek that in our relationships with others. And Allah introduces Himself to us, introduces Himself and His love to us through this name of His, when He teaches us in the Quran, Wallahu Shakurun Halim, and indeed Allah is the infinitely appreciative, and Allah is Halim, He is forbearing. Allah wants to draw us to Him through the loving grace of this name, that He is the infinitely appreciative, that He rewards little with a lot. And if we ponder what Allah gives us in reward, we can see that for a limited number of years and a finite number of deeds, deficient as they may be, Allah rewards us with the infinite reward and joy and jubilation of Jannah or paradise. And that is the reward of something which is infinite for something which is finite. And indeed that is an expression of His being Ash-Shakur, that Allah rewards even our appreciation of Him, that our appreciation of Him itself is rewarded, though the appreciation that we show to the Divine, to Allah, is itself deficient in so many ways, and through that Allah wants our hearts to be overwhelmed by His love and His infinite appreciation. For example, if Allah gives us a bounty or a grace, one of the conditions of thankfulness is that I would know the true nature of the grace or the bounty in order to give gratitude in the appropriate way. And that is impossible. Allah says in the Quran, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. Would you to enumerate the bounties of God and count the bounties of God, you would never be able to do that. So it's impossible for me to know whether in quantity or in quality the true nature of the treasures of God's gifts. And therefore it's impossible for me to show the requisite thanks and the requisite appreciation. Similarly, the fact that I thank Him for His grace is a grace in itself, because the thankfulness that I express is a creation from Him and is a gift from Him. And therefore every appreciation and gratitude and praise that I show is itself a praise in itself. Thirdly, Allah tells us that when we thank Him and when we have a heart and soul of gratitude and appreciation, that Allah will increase us in bounty. Allah says in the Quran, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ, that if you are grateful with your heart and with your limbs, I will increase you in bounty. And therefore, every gratitude that we express, every appreciation that I express, is followed almost necessarily by His loving grace, by an increase. And so even if I do express the requisite level of thankfulness and gratefulness, there's always an increase that is unexpressed by me of appreciation and gratefulness. So I'm always a step behind His appreciation and His bounty. And then lastly, there's a grave difference and a grand difference between Allah's giving, and Allah is beyond need, independent and self-sufficient in every way. He is giving when He is characterized by complete independence, and my appreciation and thankfulness, which is driven by my need and by my necessity. He gives freely in every sense, and I thank by necessity and by my poverty and my indigence and my need. Through this understanding that even our appreciation of Allah will never truly match the extent of His love and His giving and His grace, my heart must melt and I must be overwhelmed, and that should inculcate in me a desire to seek Him, to want Him, because my entire life does not go unnoticed. Every insignificant or trivial or minor action that I consider to be minor or trivial or insignificant, or that others consider to be so, is not considered like that by Allah. Everything that I do, every minute aspect that I do with an intention and a desiring to please Him is recognized and is appreciated. And my entire life then becomes a sacred act, no matter how mundane, no matter how benign, no matter how ordinary. My life is not ordinary. It is anything but ordinary in His eyes and in His gaze. And then lastly, as I strive to experience more of that name of Allah, Ash-Shakur, I must also clothe and struggle to beautify my character with that beautiful quality, that divine quality at my human level, and that is, I should be thankful for His favors, innumerable, numerous, inestimable favors upon me. And I should try my best to notice that and reflect on that and ponder whether great favors or whether small favors and small beauties. For if I am not thankful for the small things, I will never be thankful for the great things and the grand bounties that Allah gives. And as I become more and more cognizant and more appreciative of the small things, I will become more content in my heart. As I look to those who are less fortunate, I become more grateful and more content, and I will live a life of greater happiness. Because as you know, our lives today are characterized by material pursuits, by material pursuit after material pursuit, and we often become blind to the favors of the Divine on me, whether grand favors, large favors, or small favors. And I should use, as I strive to realize this name in my heart and in my character, I should strive to use the bounties that God has given me in ways that He is pleased with. For that would be the truest expression of my appreciation and gratefulness. Whatever Allah has given me, to use that, my limbs, my eyes, my tongue, my ears, my mind, my body, to use those bounties, what He has given me of provision and sustenance, to use that in a way that is virtuous and ethical and pleasing to Him. May Allah make us of those who can truly experience with our hearts the light and the reality of this name Ash-Shakur, and beautify our lives and conduct at every level with this name. وصلى اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.